Looks like I'm on my own again. I'm still not sure I've got a handle on all this. 10,000 years ago, the residents of Shambala all kill each other, save for a few priests who escape the civil war. Shortly after that, Richard crash lands here and convinces those priests to invoke a force field around the centre to protect it. Now the Countess, along with her troops, and Kim, are in the centre of Shambala, ready to blow the bloody thing up. And, surprise, surprise, I'm the only one that can stop them. I need 3 pieces of some amulet to harness the power of the source and somehow make everything okay again. That's Richard's plan, in any case. I'll probably just wander around breaking things until something interesting happens. Different sized discs with odd markings carved onto them. The pedestal in the middle has similar symbols. These heads are carved in one piece, right out of the rock. Even after all these years, they're in perfect condition. They must have had some special significance. Old deities, perhaps? Might have looked more distinguished if they'd bothered to close their gobs. An underground river. I'm a strong swimmer, but I don't think I'd be able to fight the current.
These discs are in the very center of this temple. These heads were cut directly out of the rock. Their eyes and mouths are closed. Looks like some kind of altar, but who knows? The water dripping from the ceiling is beginning to wear it away in the center. A small stream winding its way through the cave. They're lying loose. One kick ought to do it.
A load of pebbles from the old riverbed. I'll take some with me. It's a stone column. I think they form when a stalagmite and a stalactite meet in the middle. Just don't ask me which one's which. Impressive though it may be, it's in my way. And we know what happens when things get in my way. It's been here for thousands of years. It's too strong for me to shift.
A small stalagmite has formed. The water drips onto this spot from above and leaves mineral deposits behind, allowing the stalagmite to slowly grow bigger and bigger. It's too sturdy to break off with bare hands. 2 metal posts and a chain. They form the railing for this bridge. It's loose. I can most likely pull it out. I'll take the chain as well. Strictly speaking, one isn't supposed to interfere with these things, but something is telling me to do otherwise. I think I'll just break them off. I hope no one notices. This is the central hub of Shambala. It's hard to fathom. But these priests are conducting a ceremony that will construct a force field around the world's soul that will still be in place by the time Fenton arrives in around 10,000 years. When I first arrived here, I told them about the Nazi attack on the monastery, and they decided this was the best course of action. Perhaps the dying monk gave me that key because he knew it would send me into the past. The priests needed to know the threat so they could prepare for an emergency like this.
Looks like the Countess and her men have set up camp in the center. There's Kim.
Well, any news?
No, Countess. We could not discover a way out of the caves. But we haven't yet examined every corner.
And Paddock?
No trace.
Okay, forget it. Perhaps the idiot fell over the edge when we arrived here. No matter, we have other concerns to tend to. Prepare the explosives. I'm quite sure a small detonation will be enough to disrupt the force field.
Jawohl, Countess.
I need to shift these ropes, but the Countess is keeping a close eye on me. Maps, documents, and a glass bottle. I could definitely reach the table with my leg and give it a kick, but the Countess would notice it immediately.
I need to find the 3 parts of the dragon amulet. Fast. Large white crystals. Amazing. I'll grab the crystals. Let's see if feeding these guys gets me anywhere. Ah, yes. I don't think that was supposed to happen. The wooden gear broke apart. It must have rotted over time.
A stone slab. I should be able to lift this. There's a complex system of gears here that looks to be connected to those stone heads. There are 2 metal gears and 1 wooden one. I wonder if I can take the gears out. The wooden one comes away easily enough, but the others are firmly installed. I'll place the stone directly under the dripping water. An overturned offerings bowl. Now just rotting meat and fruit. Ugh. I suppose I ought to check through it, just in case. Just about the only thing here even remotely sanitary is this nut. There's a torch hanging in the holder. So, where to? I'm currently in the northern cave, and the 2 other temples are in the southwest and the southeast. It must be 200 degrees in here. I'll attach the torch to the chain. Yes, that works. A mound of stones and earth. The soil's rather compacted. I can't just pull it away with my fingernails. I can definitely use this to loosen the soil. Saving the world is no excuse not to get one's hands dirty. I'll try to shift some of this soil. The soil's loose. I can pull it away rather easily, though not without dirtying myself a little. Still, it's only mud. I can't break open the lock, but perhaps I can burn off some of the paint. I've removed the paint on the lock, but it's still shut fast. I've removed the vast majority of the paint from the lock. In a few thousand years, nature will have taken its course.
It's made of stone, adorned with all sorts of symbols and engravings. Looks like this coffin once had an iron lock on it. It's completely rusted through now. Maybe I can get it open. Got it. The coffin's open. I really hope grave robbing will be the pinnacle of my less than moral activities. I hate to think how I'd go about besting it. The body's rotted to the bone. I have the most unsettling desire to take one with me.
This is the Temple of Light. An empty stone tub. What could it be for? I'll leave the icicle here. No idea what these are for. I should be able to melt the icicle, then the tub will be full of water. I'll immerse the gear in the water.
According to Richard, there are 2 more temples besides this one in the north. There should be a piece of the dragon amulet in each one. There's one in the southeast and one in the southwest. This place is freezing. Lucky I've gotten pretty accustomed to extreme conditions over the last week. I've got to crack on and find the amulet piece. A recess. Let's fit this crystal in here. A recess in the wall. Fits perfectly. This crystal looks like a good fit. Impressive. The light from this area of the temple is concentrated and redirected. Let's see what happens. Ah, fantastic. The light's melting the ice. One of the pieces of the amulet. It's the tail piece of the amulet. There's a gear frozen into the ice here. It's frozen solid. I can't get a grip to pull it out.
I'm not entirely sure why I'm doing this. Now I know how Fenton must feel all the time, regardless. I'm sure this isn't just a spontaneous urge.
Just like an ice lolly. One good heft on the chain and... got it. And I was complaining about the heat in the desert. This is one of the 3 temples that hold the pieces of the dragon amulet. There don't seem to be that many places it could be hiding. But then, I am a master of underestimating tasks. Let's see if we can't thaw this thing out. I'd better not leave it down there too long. At 1,000 degrees, the line between thawing and incinerating is pretty fine. It worked. The gear's been preserved in perfect condition. My knowledge of ancient characters leaves a lot to be desired. That said, this one appears to be the mirror image of the symbol on the right. Looks a bit like flaming tongues. Maybe it represents fire. If only I had Wang's notes, or preferably his niece, but I don't, which leaves me rather clueless. If I were to take a stab, I'd say this symbol means the exact opposite of the one on the other side. A hollowed-out block of stone. Almost like it was meant to be. Okay, let's see if I can rig this thing up. That should work. The chain's long enough, and the stone should hold the lava without melting. There it is, a cup full of lava. That's it. The statue's moving. Looks like we're in business.
As this bowl represents life, damp earth isn't a million miles from the goal. I'm not sure we're quite there yet, though. I'll plant the nut in the earth. Perhaps this will be a sufficient sacrifice for life.
There's a plant growing here. Let's see what happens when I place the bone in this bowl. The bone didn't look that heavy. Maybe I actually did something right. A piece of the amulet. A piece of the dragon amulet. It's a piece of the dragon amulet. Aha! Feeding stones to these guys makes the discs on the floor move. Ah, something opened up. The pedestal has opened. There's a piece of the amulet inside. The headpiece of the dragon amulet. Fits. Hey, look, a dragon. This should be fun. Or terrifying. Hopefully both. Well, that was an anticlimax. What am I doing wrong?
I'm impressed.
Richard? I put the amulet back together. Is something supposed to be happening?
The amulet allows its bearer to breach the force field and to access the heart of Shambala. Use your imagination, Fenton. Think about how the morphogenetic fields work. They are a part of everyone here.
I liked you more when you didn't talk in riddles.
If you control this energy, you control everything it is a part of. Let your thoughts, your feelings take control. Turn your thoughts into action.
But... Richard? Great. Okay. Thoughts into action. Thoughts into action. Nothing's happening. Christ. Why does this remind me of Professor Hayes' dragon story? I do like dragons.
Lieutenant, control your men. This is all an elaborate illusion. They are in no danger but from themselves.
This is my chance. I've got to get free before they get organized. That's it. I've pulled some of the glass towards me.
Let's do this thing.
I've got to get free. I need to cut myself free. Quickly.
There are still 2 Nazi units out there.
Don't move! It is all just a figment of the imagination! Lieutenant, we end this party trick now. Follow me. We will detonate the explosives. Once we control the heart of Shambala, we will put an end to this spectacle.
Oh, Countess?
Ah, the girl arises. Given up waiting for your boyfriend to save you?
He's not my boyfriend.
Regardless, you must realize one thing. We have arrived in Shambala. Your usefulness no longer protects you. It is time for you to die. Now you will pay for the trouble you have caused the Reich. Say auf Wiedersehen.
再见, Countess.
Kim, are you okay?
I'm alive, I think.
What's with the kung fu? I didn't know you kick ass. Why didn't you pull that out sooner?
There's a lot about me that you don't know.
So I'm beginning to realize. Maybe that's something we can work on.
Huh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Paddock?
Kim, you know I would.
Richard?
I don't mean to break up the moment, but it's time for me to say goodbye.
What do you mean?
I've made my decision. I'm going to stay here, in the past.
But why?
I've seen a great many things here that I never would have believed. I think there's a reason I wound up in Shambala. Whatever you want to call it, there's a great power that connects every living being throughout time and space. I don't begin to understand it, but I do know it wants me to help protect it. Humanity is nowhere near ready for a miracle like this. I know that when you return to your time, you will do everything you can to keep this place a secret. Promise me.
Done.
Thank you, Fenton. And thank you for coming after me. I know how much you've been through. I'll never forget it.
You've really thought this through?
Yes, I have. One day you'll understand.
I think understanding is more your bag, but I'll do my best to get my head around it. I'll make sure the governor knows you're safe.
Thank you. I have to go now.
I'm no good at soppy. You know that.
Just look after yourselves, okay?
Take care, Richard.
What on earth just happened? Where did Richard go?
I'm not entirely sure. But I'll try to explain on the way home.
So that's it then? World saved, catastrophe averted? You're not even a little bit interested to understand the great secrets of the universe?
Nah, overrated. I'm more worried about how the hell we get back home.
So you've been halfway around the world just to get here, and you're going home empty-handed?
Am I?
You think you're pretty cool, don't you, Fenton Paddock?
You're saying you don't?
sea. Follow me, please never let me go. Don't turn my head into stone. Finally follow me home. How we danced in the night under blossoming skies. When we dance, I see starlight reflecting your eyes. In your arms, I feel tenderly touched all the time. And on your lips, I am reading the words you are mine. Follow me into my arms and my heart, and you see that you're the